Hey, good morning. This is Tuesday, April 23rd. I'm Andy Neal with your morning check. The first of 3 community meetings will be held tonight, starting at 6 at Bear Mountain Resort in Langford to discuss federal government measures considered for southern resident killer whales. Now, Ottawa placed restrictions on commercial and recreational fishing in BC to conserve Chinook salmon returning to the Fraser River this season. The Sport Fishing Institute of BC said it spoke with Fisheries Minister Jonathan Wilkinson to voice their, quote, dismay over the measures and a need to discuss ideas to reduce the impacts to the industry. Now, those restrictions of non-retention measures do not apply in Port Alberni, which is bracing for a flood of fishermen. Alberni is seeing one of the best returns of Chinook salmon in decades as well. With only 400 rooms in the fishing mecca, it has the business community wondering how it will handle all the visitors. Well, one person was taken to hospital after a mobile home fire on Songhees Nation territory last night. The 2 people inside, View Royal and Colwood crews responded, and the fire is not believed to be suspicious. Officials credit neighbors who reported seeing the flames in the home's kitchen for helping limit the damage. No reports yet of an anticipated 7 or 8 cent jump in gas prices expected at the pumps in Victoria. The price of oil recently spiked, and the U.S. announced an embargo on Iranian crude taking effect next week. Record-setting prices are climbing in Vancouver, reaching $178.9 a liter at a station yesterday. Well, one day after Earth Day, a report out today from Environment Canada scientists says greenhouse gas emissions from 4 major oil sands mines in Alberta may be significantly higher than industry reports. The authors say that industry was positive and supportive of the research and want to work to understand where the data discrepancies are coming from. Earthquake expert John Cassidy in Victoria says a pair of earthquakes that struck northwest of Vancouver Island yesterday are nothing out of the ordinary. The magnitude 4.6 and 5.3 quakes struck about an hour apart and centered about 160 kilometers west of Port Alice, but caused no damage and no tsunami. A Victoria Council motion to extend voting rights in local elections for permanent residents is getting a cautious response from the province. The government says the idea would first need support from the Union of BC Municipalities and then would need a thorough review. Victoria has an estimated 2,100 permanent residents. The Avengers Endgame world premiere was so big, it was held at the Los Angeles Convention Center instead of a traditional movie theater. Avengers Endgame is expected to be the best box office opener of all time when it hits theaters this Thursday. Well, both wildcard teams in the West are moving on in the Stanley Cup playoffs. John Klingberg with the winner in overtime to lift the Dallas Stars to a 2-1 victory to knock out Nashville in 6. And the Carolina Hurricanes scored 4 unanswered goals, including 3 in the third, for a 5-2 win at home and are taking the Stanley Cup champion Washington Capitals to a Game 7 tomorrow night. And a hero's welcome for Canada's women's sevens rugby squad after coming home with gold medals from a World Series leg victory in Japan, Canada's first since 2017. A little polar bear cub enjoyed her first Easter treats Sunday. 4-month-old Hertha and her mom were given Easter eggs of ice colored red from beetroot juice. Hertha has passed a critical time in her life, surviving her first 3 months. Well, a chance of morning showers over most parts of Vancouver Island, but clearing today, and we're heading for a few days of sunny conditions, highs ranging from 11 on the north coast to 16 here in Victoria. Well, we always love to know where you're watching from, and don't forget to like and share the CHEK Facebook page. Stacey Ross will have all your island news tonight with CHEK News at 5. Ben O'Hara Byrne will bring you the latest at 6 and 10. That's been your morning check. I'm Andy Neal.